Welcome back to Sick.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Whoa. I don't say it like that, but whoa.
We're here today to talk about something very important.
We're tackling something major.
This is like broadcast news, breaking news. Like, we stopped everything in our lives to film this episode.
Full disclosure, peek behind the curtain. This episode wasn't planned.
It was not planned until yesterday.
Quite truly. Because something happened this week.
Something happened this week. Major. The biggest thing that's ever happened in the film industry, I think.
It actually blew the doors wide open and my world has changed.
I agree.
Would you like...
What came out, Annabelle?
Okay. Madam Web came out.
Madam Web. Marvel's Madam Web.
Yeah. Starring quite a few people.
Quite a few, yeah.
Dakota Johnson, Adam Scott, Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, that other girl.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts. Star of British stage and screen, Emma Roberts.
Yeah. Huge cast.
Insane. And also
Marvel
that other
movie.
girl.
That other girl that I'll Google her name literally right now because
From
I
A Good
couldn't tell you what it
Person
is.
starring Zach Braff.
Is she in that?
She...
Oh, the daughter.
Yeah. Also, that doesn't star Zach Braff, but it's created by Zach
Written
Braff.
by.
Yeah.
That actually blew my mind open right there because I didn't put two and two together. Celeste O'Connor.
There we go. She doesn't give Celeste to me. And that's a compliment.
Okay. Well, okay, so this movie has been making waves.
Making headlines.
Over the internet and every form of media.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it, so we thought we should talk about it too.
We need to jump on the train. We said screw original thought. We don't want to talk about what we want to talk about.
No.
We need to talk about what everyone else is talking about.
Yes. And if you can't tell, we are mashing for the
I'm not gonna lie, I clocked that at the same time and I looked over at you and saw me in the bottom. We are doing a little matchy today. Are we talking about Barbie? No.
Not really.
Not at all.
No.
Maybe we should wear this when we do our ranking of the Barbie episodes as well.
That's what so you'll see these again. Don't worry.
This is a sneak peek of what's to come.
Don't know why we both decided. I mean,
I actually do, because the second you called, I said you're wearing it, and I changed.
But yeah, we're not doing anything Barbie really.
Not at all.
But we are today talking about Madam Web.
We're talking about feminism.
We're talking about feminism. That's why we're wearing it.
There we go.
I am Knopf.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason we felt the need to talk about this is because everyone is talking about it. And is everyone saying good things?
Not
No,
remotely. Haven't heard a single good one.
I've actually only heard absolutely atrocious things about this movie.
Yeah. It's become like the biggest meme. Everyone's just like tearing it to shreds, saying it's the worst movie in decades.
Yeah, saying it's like the worst movie ever made. So we, of course, went and got tickets to see it like the day it came out. And like, felt the need to make this episode and just shove her in as quick as we possibly could. Because she's coming in.
Yeah,
she's coming here on Tuesday.
She's coming in hot.
So, Annabelle, I would love if you could just give me a little rundown of what this movie is about.
Okay. I'm going to give it my best red hot go. So, we start with a little flashback to the past. Couldn't tell you what year. We've got...
It's 1973.
How did you know that?
Oh, because I clocked it, because then...
2003.
The future is 2003. It's 30 years later.
Okay, you're so right. I struggle to count. We're in 1973. We're in... Peru?
The Peruvian jungle.
I was going to say, we're in a jungle. We're in Peru. We've got a woman who can't act who's pregnant. And she's with some guy, her husband, her baby daddy.
A guy who can't act.
A guy who also can't act, and who I'm convinced doesn't have a voice. We'll get into that later. And then she gets bitten by a spider. Does he also get bitten by a spider? He just...
yes,
I was going to say, he turns psychotic for some reason.
You are brushing past quite a major part of that intro, but that's okay. She does get bit by a spider, and she's a kid.
Yeah, and she dies in childbirth.
Those are like the three big important parts of that opening sequence.
Yes, then we flash forward to 2003, and that child is Dakota Johnson, and she's a paramedic. Is she a paramedic?
She's like an ER responder or like an ambulance responder.
She's got a big job, and she works alongside Adam Scott. And then one day she dies for a couple of minutes. And then her timeline starts getting wacky. Like, she starts replaying moments over and over again. She starts kind of like seeing glimpses of the future. It's crazy. She doesn't know what's happening. She sees a vision of these 3 random girls who don't know each other being murdered by her father?
I don't think it's her dad. I think it's just some guy who worked with her mom.
Okay, by the guy from 1973. And she's like, damn, I guess I need to save these girls. And then they like kind of go into hiding and try and escape this guy. Mm-hmm. And that's my basic rundown.
That's literally the plot, basically.
Okay, I was worried, to be honest.
No, that was good.
Thank you.
So that is the movie that's being torn to shreds by people online.
It's Marvel, not part of the MCU.
It's not part of the MCU because it's Sony. Sony owns its own rights to these characters. Okay. And that's the same with Spider-Man.
That's crazy that Spider-Man's not a part of the MCU.
He is.
I was going to say he's in Avengers, right? Okay, yeah.
But that's also with Morbius, was also a Sony character that was not put into the MCU.
I have an important question. Are people saying that this is worse than Morbius?
I've actually seen quite opposite. I've seen people saying that Morbius is worse than this,
Good.
Which it is.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen it. I can't say anything, but I hate Jared Leto.
I hated Morbius.
Yeah.
I saw it like a year after it came out.
Yeah.
And it's not good. But I've seen when people like rank the movies is Morbius is usually dead last.
Okay, good.
But I think the people that want like attention are putting it above Madam Web just because they think they're funny and I think they're cool and part of something.
I don't understand. Like, why do people like to create hate trains and jump? Oh my god, I almost quoted Colleen Ballinger and I did not mean to do that.
That is not the person we want to be quoting.
Absolutely not, because if there's a hate train for her, I'm on it. I bought a ticket. But I just like don't understand why it's cool to hate. Why is it called a hate, guys?
It's I don't know. I wouldn't call it like peer pressure. It's like if you want to feel like you're a part of something and you're involved in something.
Yeah, it's like forming a bond.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like when everybody loves something. When everybody hates something, everyone's going to jump on it.
If everyone has a common enemy, then you've got a little like squad.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just ask you, what overall, Annabelle, did you enjoy this movie?
Yes. I need to die for a sec.
Whoa.
No, I did. I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I did too. I had a great time.
It's fun. It's not that deep.
It's not that deep, and it obviously has flaws, which we will talk about. But name a single movie that doesn't have flaws.
Couldn't.
La La Land.
The Room. La La Land. Agreed.
Like, 90% of movies have the same types of flaws that this movie has.
And I don't think
nothing.
You finish.
No, go ahead.
I don't think there's a movie that doesn't have flaws for someone. Like, there's not a movie that universally people agree doesn't have flaws. That's crazy.
Yeah, like we think that La La Land is flawless.
Absolutely.
I know there are people out there that disagree with that
So many people. I've torn people to shreds in arguments about it.
And the flaws that this movie has are not very different from like a lot of the other flaws that other movies have. Like they're very like the same type of issues that I've seen in other movies.
The only thing, so I'm going to jump to one of the flaws.
Please do.
One of the flaws is the editing.
So much. It's rough.
Insane. What I'm like kind of flawed by, it's insanely bad for a Marvel movie. I don't know. I haven't seen every Marvel movie, but in my mind, Marvel has a crazy budget.
Oh, I did Google the budget of this
That's
movie.
what I need to know.
Curious.
Yeah.
It was 80 to 100 million.
Yeah. See, like if I had that money, I feel like I could make something, or at least have enough money to cast an actor who can say his own lines and doesn't need ADR for every scene.
And also to have such horrible ADR.
It's the worst ADR I've ever seen in my life.
He's not saying the lines.
I don't think that voice comes from that man. Like, I need to Google it. It's another actor. It has to be.
And I think they changed the lines during ADR. Like, I think they gave him a completely different thing to say.
Because sometimes, I swear to God, his mouth is not open. Words are coming out. It's crazy.
Yep. And sometimes his mouth is open and different words are coming out.
100%. And I'm like, how did this make it to the big screen? That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like, this is a feature film. This isn't on a streaming service. I'm not watching it in my living room. I'm watching it at AMC, Nicole Kidman's home. So that's the biggest thing that I'm like, that's crazy that this is Marvel and this is in cinemas and the editing's like so bad. But
the editing is really rough.
Editing isn't gonna, I mean, editors, you do a great job, whatever. Editing's not gonna break a movie for me.
Unless it's like that's what I'm saying. Editing could break a movie if it's so bad.
I guess.
But it wasn't that bad. That it takes away from the movie to be like the worst thing ever made.
Yeah. It's like a lot of the editing that's bad as well as like the special effects, which like I don't care.
Yeah. So I Googled the editor.
Yes.
I did a little deep dive on her. She's been professionally
She's
working
a woman, that
since
makes
the
sense.
90s.
Interesting. What's she been doing?
So some just big hits of what she started out as an assistant editor, as one does.
As one does.
And she was an assistant editor in movies like The Amityville Horror.
From the 90s, so like the 2005 one?
The 2005 one.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes. She was the editor for the movie Next with Julianne Moore and Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And then she was brought up to the editor for movies like Fast and Furious, Fast 5.
Surely they have a
Ant-Man,
lot of special effects.
Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, I don't know how much she even really would have to do with the special effects. I feel like that'd be a different department.
That's true. Clearly, I haven't edited a fefeature film.
As I say, I don't think she would really be doing that.
Yeah, like special effects, After Effects, I guess that's a different team.
But she's been the editor for Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Widow,
Okay.
Spider-Man Far From Home, Furious 7.
Okay, yeah, so she's been in the Spider Marvel world before.
She's done quite a lot of action movies.
Yeah.
You know what? Something I need to point out that you said.
Yes.
That it just kind of clicked in my head is you said that you felt like this movie was made 20 years ago with the editing style or something like that.
Yeah, that was indeed my Letterboxd review. I said that I'm genuinely curious, was this edited in 2003?
Now,
is that a choice?
It's set in 2003.
Is that the choice?
Yeah. So a part of me is like, because it is edited like it's from 2003. Like, it genuinely is. And it's set in 2003.
So maybe I'm like, this is genius.
Is it a little too, not meta, is it too
is she
ahead
a
of its time
method
for us?
editor? Like, she really
Because
delved
it
in.
very much could have been a choice, like, genuinely.
That's so true. There was also another thing that I saw, Calm, shout out, was showing me last night, that people on Twitter, X, were tearing it apart because one of the shots used is one of the exterior shots from one of the 2003 Spider-Man movies.
Wait, I kind of like that.
And I was like, wait, I love that. That's...
Yeah.
It's like,
what
that's
a fun
so clever.
callback, and to be part of the time.
Part of the same universe.
I would like, speaking of the editing and speaking of people on Twitter.
Let's talk about X people on Twitter.
Let's talk about the people that are actually making me a little angry.
Let's talk about it.
I've noticed people, I don't know where they're getting it. I think they're just straight up lying on the internet. So there was a video I saw. If I can find it, I'll send it to you and you can like put it on the screen.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to find it. I'll try.
We'll do some research.
But it is the scene where, right before she dies for a few seconds, where they help the man out of the car.
Yes.
So on Twitter, before I went and saw this movie, it was that scene that I had seen on Twitter, and somebody was like, the editing's so bad they broke the 180 rule. Which, if you don't know what the 180 rule is, I'll briefly explain it.
Hypothetically, maybe I don't.
This is for everybody other than Annabelle, if you don't know what the 180 rule is.
Thank you so much.
So when you're filming something, there is the rule of 180, which is basically where the camera sits. You do not want to pass that portion behind the camera.
Sure.
Because if you do, it will confuse the viewer. It'll make it look like somebody's talking to themselves if you're like editing off this shoulder and then you shoot to this shoulder.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it would,
for coverage.
But
and
like
stuff.
if you're doing it for the same person, it would look like they're talking to each other.
Gotcha.
So you don't want to break the 180 rule.
Yeah.
And in this video on Twitter, it was them essentially breaking the 180 rule, where it was Dakota Johnson getting into the car to help the guy out, and then the next shot is her on the other side, and it looks like she's going to help herself out of the car.
Okay.
I kept my eyes peeled during the movie because I was like, can't wait to see it. I was like, where is it? It wasn't in there.
Really? So people have just like flipped it on Twitter?
Either that, or maybe it was from a trailer or something.
Because I didn't notice anything wrong. I remember watching that scene intently because I was like, well, this is really great advice for how to save a man hanging upside down in a car.
Right.
I was like, I'm learning. Yeah. I was also like, what a noble job. I was just like really thinking about people who do that for a living. And I was not remotely thinking about the editing, and I would have been, because in the next scene when she falls into the ocean, I was like, crazy editing. That's insane.
So scene before it is, I saw on Twitter of people posting, and they're either lying or something, but even if they're not lying and they pulled it from the trailer, one, it's not in the movie, and two, they're just putting it out there to garner more hate for this movie and making up reasons for people to dislike it, which is so exhausting. Isn't it better to just have a good time?
No, I'm also so sorry, what were you expecting? What were you expecting?
Literally. This is a superhero movie with Dakota Johnson, not part of the MCU.
No. Also, in general, I have, a little bone to pick with some Marvel fans just who, put it on this crazy pedestal. And I'm like, it's not high art. It's about people who shoot webs from their hands. Get over yourself. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to watch some flashing lights and
tell me what diseases were cured from watching Spider. Actually, diseases could be cured from watching Madam Web, because it was very.
She's teaching us.
Yeah, lots of instructions medically. But get over yourself.
Yeah.
I think that the hate for this is similar to the hate for Argyle.
I can see that because I had a good time with Argyle.
That's another movie that everyone was like, it's the worst movie ever made. I'm like, have you seen any other movies?
No, I'm sorry, there's so much
I'll
worse
name
out
12
there.
from the past year that were worse.
Yeah.
Dix the Musical. Best Picture winner 2024. Worse.
Would I see Madam Web again? Yes. Would I see Oppenheimer again?
No. I haven't even seen Killers of the Flower Moon yet. But I have seen Madam Web.
Oh my god.
You're right.
Here comes all of the axes and swords, but I stand by my truth.
We're brave. We're here. We're speaking our truths. And that's all you can ask.
So true.
So true.
I did something I loved something that I saw a lot of hate about was I loved the Spider-Man references throughout it.
Yeah, you definitely would have picked up on more than me, for sure.
I mean, Adam Scott playing Ben Parker, Peter's uncle.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't actually notice that in the movie, but when I googled Emma Roberts being in it and her name was whatever it is, Parker, Mary, I was like, funny.
Not his aunt, because they're
I did get confused because Carla was like, May and Mary, they're so similar, so now I'm getting confused. But I was like, Parker, I get it. That's fun.
And when at the baby shower,
yes,
when they're guessing the name, right before the balloon pops and everything gets scared. Time? Yes, the first time Emma Roberts is about to say what the baby's name is. She goes, "Oh, it's," and then the balloon pops.
Oh wait, so she's Peter's mother?
Yeah, that's Peter's mother. She was about to say Peter.
I'm so silly. That's so fun. Oh, okay, grow up.
Right? And something else that was a reference that I really clocked was in the end when, oh god, I don't even remember who said it. I want to say it was either the villain. I mean, it might have been Adam Scott, which would make more sense. But they do say great responsibility brings great power.
Yes. They say it twice.
Yeah. Which obviously is an ode to with great power comes great responsibility. Said by Ben Parker in the Peter Parker movies. The Spider-Man movies.
Yes. Also, said by Marissa Tomei, right?
Yes, because Ben Parker is not in those movies.
Yes. That's how Marissa Tomei is my great power comes great responsibility, because that's the only iteration of Spider-Man I've seen.
Let's talk about some of the acting.
Okay. Right off
if we're gonna talk about flaws.
If we're gonna talk about flaws, then maybe I shouldn't name the person I was gonna say. Because acting-wise, we already said her name, Emma Roberts, slaughtered.
She actually was so good.
She actually was so good.
Genuinely, I was shocked.
She looked bomb. She killed.
She did look bomb. She was really, really good. And she had 2 minutes of screen time.
And stole the show.
She did. She was so good.
She had to have a water break. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. And then there comes Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Who was good.
Yeah.
I feel so. My mother is quite a big Dakota Johnson fan. And
yes, Diane loves a bit of Dakota.
Her final verdict was that she thought Dakota was really good, but she thought some of the delivery was a little awkward.
Yeah.
Which it was. I agree.
I think some of the delivery was just like a crazy choice. Like, I didn't believe her.
I was gonna say, a part of me was, okay, I did believe her.
I believed her overall, but like,
just like, it's a character. Like, that's
true. There were like 3 specific lines in general that I was like, why would you say it like that?
If you say, can you tell me? Because one of them might be one of my favorite deliveries of one of her lines.
I doubt that this is. It was like after she was saved, and then like the scene played again or whatever, the second time Adam Scott was taking her like blood pressure or whatever it was. She was like, oh, cut it out. Like, I can't remember what she said in particular, but the way she said that line, I was like, I don't believe a word you're saying.
What are the other 2?
I can't remember the other 2. That was the specific first one I remember. What was your favorite delivery?
That I saw someone make fun of on the internet, and I was like, oh, I kind of liked it. It felt very like awkward and in character for her. Because she is an awkward character. Like, that's,
I agree.
She's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out the line where she is with the 3 girls in the woods, and she goes, the one girl says something to her, and to like refresh her memory of her, and she goes, that does sound like something I said.
Oh, wait,
or something like that.
Okay, I remember that line, and I liked that line. That was funny.
Somebody tore that up on the internet, and
Really?
I said, that's so good delivery. I was like, oh,
No,
so
that was
awkward.
funny. That was when one of the girls, Sydney Sweeney, when she was
Okay.
like, wait, you helped my mother out, and then when I thanked you, you were really awkward about it.
Yeah.
And she was like, that sounds like something I would do. Like, that was funny.
I loved her delivery. I thought she played the awkward parts really well.
I totally agree with that. I'm gonna yes and the awkwardness. Awkward character. Also, I feel like Dakota Johnson's niche kind of sits in like awkward.
It does. See, that's another thing I said, is I loved the awkwardness of her character. I would have loved to see more of like the Dakota Johnson sarcasm come out.
Yeah.
Because it was there a little bit, but I could feel it like pushing, and I would have loved to see more.
We didn't get
of
the full line, and I'd love that.
Yeah, we didn't get calling Ellen out.
Yeah. No, we didn't. It was the other line was like something that she was saying to herself. Like, it was a weird. To be fair, the script isn't amazing.
No, yeah, it's not amazing.
So if I read some of that stuff in a script as an actor, I'd be like, Jesus. So I feel like it was a couple of those lines that she just delivered kind of weirdly. Not even awkwardly, just like weirdly, with weird intonation that I didn't believe. But not great material that you're dealing with. I get it.
Yeah, and I've seen worse.
I've seen worse in this film. And let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Let's talk about the 3 little girlies.
The 3 little girlies.
We've got Celeste O'Connor, we've got Sydney Sweeney, and we've got Isabella Merced.
Yes.
All playing like very like different types of people.
Teenagers. Yeah, I think Isabella Merced and Celeste were, I guess, kind of similar, but one of them's
somewhat
different classes.
Yeah.
They were both like sarcastic, angsty little girlies, but one was rich and one wasn't.
And then Sydney Sweeney played sort of the like nerdy,
goody two shoes, nerdy.
Goody two shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about who you liked, who you didn't.
Celeste O'Connor.
Baby girl.
Was she that bad and a good person?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I'm not gonna lie. The second I saw that she wasn't a good person, I was like, oh, I remember there being a child actor I didn't like in that movie, and it was her. She wasn't as bad.
I was gonna say, I didn't think she was as bad.
She basically played the same character. She was like angsty and didn't like authority.
Yeah.
And she was better.
Oh my god, I'm having like flashbacks to a good person of like the party scene when they go to New York.
Yes.
She's
Terrible.
So bad.
She's so bad. Yeah, I remember it because Clems likes to rip me apart for ripping apart child actors. She's like, she's a child. I'm like, and so was Millie Bobby Brown. Like,
yeah, I'm
kids
having
can
those
act.
flashbacks. She's not good in a good
She's
person.
not
She's not
Breslin.
horrendous and a good person.
No.
She might be the worst actress in this movie.
She might be the worst actress.
In the world.
Just in general. No, she's so bad. She's so bad. Particularly physically.
Yeah.
Like, her physical acting is terrible. She wasn't even speaking in a scene, and she's in the background, like, fidgeting, going, like... I'm like, babes, stop back row acting.
She really... I could not stand her. My mom didn't like her.
Yeah. And if Diane doesn't like her, then it's over.
I know. And my mom isn't one to, like, point out bad actors.
Yeah.
She's not going to be like, oh, they were horrible. But she did say that she was the worst of the three. Because she was. She was so bad.
She was noticeably the worst. And that's saying a lot when you've got Sydney Sweeney.
That's saying so much when you've got Sydney Sweeney trying to play somebody with a personality.
Yeah. Which is crazy for her. Also, like... I don't mean to objectify her, but when you've got Sydney Sweeney with her tits away, what's she bringing to the table? What's she bringing to the table?
The outfit she was wearing was so
The
weird.
outfit was... It was... I think it's, like, out of, like, manga. Like, it seems like that kind of, like...
felt like, yeah,
fetishized
like
schoolgirl.
Yeah.
But, like, one will, like, take her glasses off and be hot.
And that's why they, like, tied it up and, like...
Yeah, because they said Britney, hit me baby one more time era.
Mm-hmm.
Also the wig.
The wig was horrendous.
The wig was horrendous.
And I'm like, what was the budget spent on? It wasn't the editor. It wasn't the wigs.
Actually, one of my notes that I haven't remotely looked at is that, like, they really tried to age her down.
They did.
And it was giving, like, Florence Pugh Little Women age down.
I sat there and I was like, she looks old.
She does. How old is
she?
Isabella
She is 26 years old.
Sydney Sweeney?
Sydney Sweeney is. Yeah. Isabella Merced is 22.
Yeah, I knew that she was a little young.
O'Connor is 25.
Really?
I believed her as a teenager.
Yeah, more so. Maybe it's also just that, like, we know Sydney Sweeney in more adult roles.
And Isabella is younger than the two of them, and she can play a young. Yeah, she played Dora, for God's sake.
No, literally. I always get shocked when I'm like, you're not 16?
Yeah. I love Isabella.
Oh, I know you love Isabella. You've had a love for Isabella for a while.
She's so freaking good in everything she's been in, and I think I've seen everything she's in.
Yeah.
I really think I have. Her first, like, big thing was Transformers.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
In 2017.
Not the Nicola Peltz one.
She stands out in, like, everything, and I love her so much. She's the best of the three.
She kills in this.
She's so good.
And I agree, she is better than Dakota.
She is better than Dakota.
Dakota is kind of off her game, but she's better than Dakota in this.
I don't think Dakota really wanted to be there, if we're honest.
I get it. Yeah.
My thing with Dakota versus Isabella, and even the other two girls, is when they would speak, it felt very performative.
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't feel like we're just living in a world and we're just having a conversation.
I didn't. Yeah, I agree.
But Isabella did. It felt so natural. Yeah. Everything, her movements, her physicality, everything was just very natural.
For sure.
And so I feel like she was the only one. Her and Emma Roberts are the only one in this movie that I believed to be human people.
Human beings from beginning to... Actually, Adam Scott, I believed.
He was fine. He plays himself in everything he ever does.
And that's all I want from him. Actually, he's different in Severance.
I haven't seen Severance.
He's good in that. He looks really kind of old in that, but he's good. But also, yeah, that's a testament to Isabella Merced, considering her scene partners weren't doing the same. She wasn't receiving that.
Yeah, she was not getting anything in return.
Yeah, which is hard. I actually would like to say about Sydney Sweeney that she was better than I was expecting her to be, because from Anyone But You, my expectations were set so low. And again, it's another podcast we mentioned Anyone But You.
But we have to, because Sydney Sweeney's here. I didn't hate her in Anyone But You.
I mean, yeah, because it's Anyone But You. You know, like, I don't need an Oscar winner in the lead role, but she was just terrible. Like, she was so bad.
See, I don't think she was so bad. I don't think I'd say that.
Maybe, I think Euphoria just kind of tricked me a little bit into thinking she was slightly better than she was. I saw Anyone But You, I said, oh, baby girl, get off the screen.
Yeah.
And then in this, I was like, okay, you're fine.
Like, I agree, because I was saying that to my parents. So I was like, I thought she was, like, gonna be such just an actress after Euphoria.
Me too.
And she has disappointed every single time since then.
Was she nominated
just
for an
kidding.
Emmy?
Last night I watched Reality.
Oh, is she good in that?
She's pretty good in that. Yeah.
Okay, then maybe she just really needs to be molded heavily by the director.
I think it's all in the directing, yeah.
But I also don't want to give that to Sam.
Yeah,
I never wanted to give that to Sam. But in this, like, I feel like, you know what she gave to me? Lead of a high school play. Mm-hmm. Who, like, you're gonna laugh at.
Yeah.
They're pretty good for high school stage.
Yeah, she's not movie
But she's not gonna pursue that after she graduates.
Yeah. She's gonna go and like work at McDonald's in her hometown.
Exactly. I'd be like, remember when I was the lead of that?
And people are gonna come in and they're gonna be like, oh my god, were you in the 2020 production of
Our Town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
She delivered one line about
it's just really
something
weak.
that was funny. Yeah, some of the acting is very weak. Who else is in it? Is that pretty much? Oh, the French guy. The ADR guy.
He's horrendous.
He's so bad and didn't say a single word of his own dialogue. No, he's the worst actor in it. Also, the woman who played Dakota Johnson's mother can't act. I don't know who she is.
But she's barely in it.
She's barely in it, but that was I can't lie, when it started, I was like, I hate this. The first, 2 minutes in the 1973 flashback, hated.
The intro felt like a really awful movie from the 90s, actually, is what I was getting.
And every time someone said a word, there was a zoom in, like we're in the office.
Wait, oh my god, there were so many zoom ins.
So
I actually
weird.
couldn't. Which is was that intentional to be 2003 and stuff?
I guess, but I don't know. I said it's also, Blair Witch meets The Office.
I feel like they were trying to be funny about it.
I guess, but no one was saying anything funny. That's what made me hate it for quite truly 2 minutes. And then the second we got to 2003, I was like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah. It was much, much better once it actually picked up.
The second we got in that ambulance, I was immersed.
See, that's what I'm saying, though, about this movie, is we sat here and we criticized, the editing of the movie. We sat here and criticized the acting and some of the delivery.
Yes.
Name a movie that doesn't have horrible actors in it.
100% true. Even La La Land.
John Legend.
Get him out. Get him out. I feel like you're rarely going to find a cast where everyone kills. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. What's her face? That Australian girl who's dating Woody Harrelson. Abby Cornish?
Is she Australian?
Yes. Worst actor I've ever seen. She's so bad.
Wait, Samara Weaving?
No, not Samara Weaving. The one who's
It is Abby Cornish.
Yeah, she's terrible. No, Samara Weaving kills. She delivers one line about the zoo and she slaughters.
Good in most stuff.
Yeah, she literally has one line in that movie and she kills, and she's brunette, which is crazy. But no, Abby Cornish is horrendous. Love the movie. Love everyone else's performance.
I don't even remember her in that movie.
I just remember her standing out because she was so terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm embarrassed for my country. Thank God for Samara.
Really good movies have horrible actors.
Yeah, it happens. So get over it. You can't
escape it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is this movie is not special. There's nothing that makes this movie worse than other movies.
Yeah, I feel like one person didn't like one thing, everyone jumped on it and is looking specifically for the flaws.
You know what it's giving?
What?
It's social media wise, it's giving the exact same reaction.
The Idol.
As Saltburn.
Oh, interesting.
So when Saltburn was released, everyone was going off about how this is the craziest movie I've ever seen. Yeah. And I was expecting this fun comedy drama and I got such weird stuff. And everyone then, a bit after, was like, have you never seen a movie before? There are other wild movies. There are crazier movies out there. That's how I feel about this one. Everyone's saying it's the worst movie ever. And then pretty soon people are going to be like, haven't you seen a movie before? There are worse movies.
Yeah. Get over yourself. It's
genuinely, it's a social media trend and it's fun and you're involved in something to hate.
Yeah.
Which is exhausting. Love, no hate. Love, don't hate.
Amen. This podcast we've just come out as hippies. Spread love, guys.
Some things I really loved filmmaking wise.
Yes.
While the editing was sometimes really questionable.
Yeah.
Cinematography actually kind of went crazy at points. Like when they had some of the like flashback scenes or like the future scenes of Dakota, and it was sort of a question of like, is this happening or is she imagining this?
Yeah.
I thought some of those shots were beautiful, like genuinely so well done.
You're right.
And that really struck a chord with me.
I love that. That's beautiful. I can't say I noticed, but I also didn't notice it being bad.
Yeah, I just thought, I was like, wow, that's some interesting, like, unique ways of portraying, like, the future, or, like, her having visions.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say what else.
Something else that I really loved was the fact that while this was a superhero movie, it wasn't really.
Agreed.
Because the villain was, like, superpowers and like can do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But Dakota and the three girls, besides the fact that Dakota can tell the future, nothing. Yeah. Really. Until the end.
Yeah.
No spoilers. But like but for the entirety of the movie, there's nothing like superhero about the movie.
No, totally agreed. And that's a definite pro in my book.
I thought that too.
Yeah. I'm here for the relationships. I'm here for the characters. I'm here for the setup. I don't really care if people have powers.
It was an interesting story that they were able to tell without making them superheroes.
Yeah.
And I saw, this is going to be a spoiler, I saw a lot of people on the internet tearing it down because they were like, the three girls, you only ever see them in costumes for 2 seconds and it's in like their imagination. And I'm like, I thought that was great.
Yeah, also I think they're just trying to set you up for a sequel.
Yes, be patient.
Yeah, oh my God. Your damn time. But also, I don't know if we're going to get a sequel.
I want one.
I know you do. I'd like one. I'm here for it, but I don't know if we're going to... I guess Venom got a sequel.
See. Yeah, Venom was kind of good, though.
I enjoyed the first. I haven't seen the second one, but I enjoyed the first one.
That's another one that's Sony that's not included in the MCU.
Yeah.
My mom walked out of that theater and said, I want a movie showing how the girls become superheroes.
Oh, a little origin story. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
But yeah, I liked how it wasn't too hard of a superhero movie.
Exactly, because there are people, me, who don't care. I don't want to go for that. That's the Marvel movies that are too superhero-y, I don't watch. Or I do, and I don't like them. So we need something... Throw me a bone, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Mean Girls the musical, take notes. This is how you include a major sponsorship in a movie. I did clock that it was a sponsorship. I didn't hear the full Pepsi co-brand throughout the whole movie.
I'm not gonna lie, my note was Mean Girls Elf is Madam Web's Pepsi.
But it
was a lot more subtly integrated.
A lot more tastefully.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because it's not shoved down your throat. But it is there, and it's very obvious. But I didn't hate it.
Honest,
and also,
I don't know if I would have
said
noticed
in my letterboxd how I love that Pepsi is the person to kill the bad guy.
Yeah. And I can't lie, I wouldn't have noticed that it was sponsored by Pepsi unless I hadn't read your letterboxd review before I went and saw the movie.
So maybe it's not as obvious of a sponsorship.
Or I'm just dumb.
During the baby shower is when I clocked it. I literally leaned over to my mom and I said, is this sponsored by Pepsi?
Yeah.
And she said, I don't know. And then once towards the end of the movie when, spoilers, the Pepsi sign kills the bad guy.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's a really funny way to include a sponsor, I think.
I agree. No, that could have killed.
And I just also hated that her name was Cassie.
I forgot. Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I think of Euphoria.
I think of
Sydney Sweeney.
Me too. Yeah. Wait, Dakota's name was Cassie?
Yeah, and so every time Sydney Sweeney says her name a lot in the movie, and so every single time I'm like, girl, you're talking to yourself.
Why are you talking to yourself, baby girl?
Girl, keep it down.
Keep it down, you can say this little freak. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed it. I think people need to like, I would love to... People need to shut up, first and foremost. I also just would love to know what they were expecting.
I did not go into this movie thinking I'm going to watch Best Picture 2025.
Absolutely not. Oh my god, Kaneki is fully on screen right now.
Oh my god, Kaneki's always making a little appearance.
She is. Hello, sexy princess.
Speaking of sexy princesses.
Yeah?
The Sarah Michelle Gellar cameo.
What? What?
You missed the Sarah Michelle Gellar cameo?
Sarah Michelle Gellar's in this movie?
Yes!
What do you mean?
She's in this movie. I screamed and I hit my mom and I said, oh my god, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
What?
Yes.
In Madam Web 2024.
In Madam Web, Sarah Michelle Gellar has a little cameo.
Like a poster?
When Emma Roberts is about to give birth.
Yeah.
They are in Adam Scott's apartment, I think. They're all hiding out there.
Uh-huh.
What movie are they watching?
What movie are they watching?
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Shut up! Wait, I didn't notice that.
And it's the scene where Helen Shivers gets murdered.
That is actually so funny that I missed that scene, because I missed that scene when we watched it together.
You did? You literally did.
I looked down at something and looked up and I said, Sarah Michelle Gellar's dead? What?
Yeah. No,
that's
you
so
said
funny.
Sarah Michelle Gellar's dead 20 minutes later when we see her dead body.
I was like, when did that happen? And you were like, I knew you weren't watching. I knew you missed it.
I was like, I wasn't
missing it again. I just can't see her die. It's too painful.
Yeah.
It's self-preservation.
It was her screaming in the street.
That's crazy.
I know I did that somewhere.
Oh my god, no wonder I didn't recognize it.
Yeah. I lost my little mind and I loved that.
Good. Put her in more.
Yeah, I know. Bring her back.
Bring her back.
The world needs her.
Do Revenge brought her back, and we need more people to follow that trend.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
They did. And this is such a niche little joke that I'm gonna make that literally I think only you and I are gonna get, but I need to say it.
Say it.
I need to say that Madam Web, Cassie Webb from Madam Web, is just like Lil Simsy.
Wait, how?
Because Lil Simsy's name is Kayla Sims, so she was born to play The Sims.
Oh my god.
Cassie Webb, her last name's Webb.
She's born to be a spider.
A spider.
She's just like Lil Simsy.
The minute they said Cassie Webb, I was like, oh my god, it's like Lil Simsy.
Simsy. It's Lil Simsy. If you guys aren't subscribed to Lil Simsy,
follow Lil Simsy on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram.
She plays The Sims.
She's so much fun.
She's so much fun. She knows how to build a house.
She knows how to build a house, and she is so much fun while doing it.
And she's born for it. So,
she was literally born for it.
Nominal determination, baby girls. That's good. That's such a good note. It's okay. I made a note about Genie. It's like, who's gonna get that?
But that's literally all I feel like I have to say. Do you have any like glaring things that you need to bring up about this movie?
I'm gonna go with no. My notes were very specific, and in hindsight, stupid. Adam Scott loves to play a Ben.
He does love to play a Ben. The minute she said Ben to him, Ben Parker did not come to my mind first. Ben from Parks and Rec came to my mind.
I literally was like, is this canon? I fully thought he was playing. I was like, is this what he does?
Before he works with
Parks and Recreation, after he becomes child mayor, he decides to go into being a paramedic. Zosha Mamet's in this movie.
Zosha Mamet is in this movie.
That was my note. I like Zosha Mamet.
She's fine.
She's good at it.
That's the thing, is she's not glaringly bad.
I believed her. Zosha Mamet also loves to do tech. That's all she does in The Flight Attendant.
She's a little tech wizard.
She's a little tech girly. Also, you loved Zosha Mamet in Trolls World Tour.
Women in STEM. I did love
Trolls
her
Band
in
Together. Trolls Band Together.
The Trolls Band Together, yeah. She's so good in that.
Exactly. So, an actor. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
I like her so much better than her dad.
I forgot she was in it until you just said it right now.
She's so good at it.
Yeah.
But they're my important notes.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's a fun movie. Like, go see it if you want to have, like, a good time. Like, you're not going to get the best movie in the world. You're not going to get something that's going to blow your mind at the end.
Yeah.
But I would have not expected that going into it in the first place.
It's like it stars only women. How good's it gonna be?
No, I saw a Letterboxd review. It was somebody saying like, we all just can't stand superhero women.
I was like, is everyone being a little misogynist? Is that everyone's problem? Like,
there's a genuine trend I'm seeing, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Go see it.
Go see it.
Go see it. Don't go on the internet because everybody's being really annoying.
I actually think I hate the internet.
This is why I delete my social media once a month.
Yeah. This is why I'm stupid and tapped out of Twitter and don't know what's happening in the world. You have to tell me when people don't like things.
I know.
Because I don't know.
I'll send you. I'll try and find that one tweet and give it to you because that video needs to be shown because it's not in the movie.
That's crazy. Lies.
And it makes me that's what makes me so angry. Is like it's like you're setting this movie up for failure. Nobody's giving this movie a chance because everybody's lying on the internet about it in the first place.
That's so annoying. Grow up. I don't know.
That's get over
my
it.
Final sentiment.
Have a good time. Like have fun.
Learn how to smile. Don't take life too seriously. Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
But we felt that it was very important that we hop on and we get these sentences out here. So
we needed our opinions voiced and heard by
the world needs
the
to
pessimistic
hear it.
Public. Ben, what did you give it on Letterboxd?
I gave it an 8. I'm not gonna lie. In the way beginning, I gave it a 6 in my head. As the movie went on, it bumped really quickly to a 7. And then towards the middle-ish end, I was at a high 7, and I just was like 8.
Okay, yeah. At the very beginning, in the first 2 minutes, I said 2. I think I just don't like the jungle. And then when maybe I don't like the 70s, I don't know. And then when we came to 2003, I said, all right. And then I was between a 6 and a 7 throughout most of the movie. And then I said, how could Madam Web be a 10 out of 10? Like a 5 out of 5 star? I don't know. Let's give it a 7. I had a good time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like that 8 truly came from me having like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go watch it.
Go watch it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. And if you didn't like it, keep your mouth shut on the internet.
Don't let me know what you think. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That.
I think that's it.
I think that's all we have. But we've said the important things that needed to get out there. So.
We have. Next week is something that was supposed to come out this week.
No,
so we do say that we've never seen Madam Web in it.
Yeah. So we're liars.
Don't take anything we say as the truth.
It's all a grain of salt.
But yeah, besides that, take us away, Annabelle.
Okay. Well. Sick.
See you next
Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.